What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today we actually got quite a few very cool new features. Basically we're now able to craft charms far earlier than last season, so you can craft the earliest charms that give you the base version, the epic version of the bonus stats, and this opens up some very interesting possibilities to early on acquire some nice buffs. I want to show you guys how it works. We'll go over some details and which heroes you want to upgrade, and then I also want to point a little bit of a spotlight on the mechanic that we have this season that is actually going to allow you to gain insane power that we haven't seen before to that scale. So something you definitely want to be hyped for. And also we got a new game mode, and I don't really want to make too much of a guide for that. It is fairly simple if you have the right heroes, I think. Basically you just want to use heroes that like basically show it to you. You want to use Lily May, you want to use Thorin, and you want to deal a ton of damage to this guy, and then it usually works out. We can do the first stage together maybe. Let me quickly set it up. So I just went with this team, worked out pretty well. The first stages aren't too difficult, and with that we can just deal a ton of damage. So that was usually alright, at least for the first stages. And later on optimized for a bit more damage. The nice thing here is we get a ton of charms actually at the beginning. So as we are talking about charm crafting, it is fairly nice to just acquire them through this game mode fairly easily. So maybe you at least want to do the first 3 stages of this before you start with the crafting. As you get like 10, I think, boxes was in there. You get some other stuff too, but like first 3 stages quickly done, as you can see. Not too difficult. The main thing is that once you go past those 27 seconds of targeting, he starts one-shotting your heroes. He can't do that to Lily May swiftly because she's untargetable for a long time. Thorin doesn't mind getting one-shot, so same for Talene, so you kind of resilient with those heroes. So let's acquire those charms here as well. Got something nice for Rowan there, and now we can go into the crafting. And the way this works, pretty simple. We saw this last season. For example, I have Lily May. Lily May, of course, every bit of damage that we can get on her is well appreciated, even though it is not the strongest skill. You can preview the skill here. The elite skill is increases the target's damage taken by 7% for 6 seconds after the hero deals damage to the target, unstackable. I mean, in a way, it's not bad. We deal 7% more damage, straight up. It's also not super insane because it's unstackable, but we should have a 100% uptime of this. So what you want to do is you want to go into this, and then it shows you all the charms. And you can already see this one says craft. This is just a basic one, and you can craft it for a little bit of gold, and some materials you earn by recycling duplicate charms that you have. So let's just craft this. We see we also get some other stats in comparison. We had HP attack here. Here we have HP attack crit for true damage. Crit is always a very nice stat. And you can also see we now acquired this buff, which is fairly nice. So let's recycle some duplicate charms and let's take a look. I also looked for some heroes that are pretty nice to upgrade, and I found 5 that are really good, and probably some you want to see. Rainier is on pretty much on top of the list, I think. It is pretty much the hero I like the most in terms of charms. He has a very nice buff. Grants 18% attack boost for 45 seconds for the ally placed 1 tile behind the hero when the battle starts. So you could already see it in the first fights we did in the Heroic Gauntlet. Was it called Heroic Gauntlet? My god, I forgot the name. Horrible. Yeah, Heroic Gauntlet. And there was like a little box behind him, and this is the box that shows this skill. 18% attack boost, absolutely massive. Later on upgraded to 30%, which is really nice. So you can get a huge attack boost from a support hero, which is exactly what you want. So definitely a great thing. And in a lot of team setups that we saw, you already place a hero behind him. So not really even something you have to really change your team for. Only in some situations, but in most situations where you want to use Rainier, you can make this happen and can gain this buff fairly easily. Then we have Odie. Not a super strong buff, but I like it. We can acquire it swiftly, craft it, and also again we have the similar buff. The attack speed is really nice on OD as well. And we gain a pretty long buff. Just ends up being you gain attacks, you gain damage, Fizz and Magic Death is increased by 1.5 and respectable 5% for every 3 seconds that he's alive. And you gain some also when assisting or defeating an unsummoned enemy, and then you have a cap, and this brings you to up to 15% damage increase and 50% increase on Fizz and Magic Death. You also become super tanky and deals more damage. We like it. Very nice. Talene, super nice buff, fairly simple. Increase all damage attack normal attacks by 30% for 60 seconds. So it's just a huge damage increase later on upgrade as well. So we just gain more damage with Talene. What else do we want? Very nice. Coco, we can check this out. Grants 12% damage reduction and 12 energy on hit for the ally placed one tile in front of the hero. So Rainier was behind him and Coco in front. So we can also gain some damage reduction energy on hit in a pretty easy way. And you can integrate that in a lot of teams fairly simply. So those are really 5 heroes I definitely like. There are some that are alright-ish, not too insane. For example, Carolina, I already got this one. Increases the target's damage taken by 12%. This is nice. It's unstackable. And the stupid thing with this one is, not Alsa, Arden has the same one. So, yeah, it's a bit weird. It's quite sad, actually, because I thought, well, I might have nice synergy. We use them in AFK stages a lot. Maybe we can make something happen there, but sadly, not really. What I wanted to show you, though, is something really crazy. And I only recently noticed this myself. We had mythic charms in the last season, so I kind of assumed when I just looked at this that those were mythic charms. In fact, they are not. Those are mythic charms. This is the mythic charm. We have one singular mythic charm, and the other ones that we have here, they are mythic plus. So we have a new rarity here that I didn't even notice. You can see Blast Charm V+. That is Mythic Plus rarity, and we have them in kind of sets here. So this is the Blast set, granting you 21% attack and 5 ultimate power. 5 ultimate power. The cap on ultimate power that you could get last season was 3. Now we have 5. And on Carolina, of course, we wanted skill power. Same for that. 21% attack boost, 5 skill power. Absolutely monstrous. Absolutely insane. I mean, there was some changes to these skills, but still gaining 5 skill power through that and a 21% attack buff on top of all of that there is absolutely massive. And it's like a power buff, we should say, that we have not seen before. Because if you remember, we have the increase here to the damage that she deals, and then the snowball witchery. We also gain damage here, and this will not only be plus 10%, it will be plus 50% because we will have 5 skill power, which is massive. And on some other heroes, we can make some very nice things happen with skill power and all of that stuff too. If I remember correctly, it is a bit like last season on her as well. Yeah, we see the second reduction there, and I'm eager to see that because we will end up with 5 skill power. Meaning we can reduce that down to 1 second, which is super massive. And this would be negative, actually. So, I don't know. I don't know if she has maybe some other charms and doesn't get the skill power, but she should, right? Yeah, skill power 5, so it would be negative, and I wonder how that is going to turn out. I expect some bugs, but I don't know how this will end. And there are some nice combinations, once again, that we'll see. Last season, I was especially hyped about Brutus. This season, well, he got a bit nerfed in that regard. He didn't get the same love that he got last season. Last season, we got the skill power buff also on his Supreme Plus ability. This season that is not the case, so he will profit less from skill power than last season, even though the skill power buff is higher. Would have been absolutely insane, of course, if he got the same treatment as last season and got like the +1 here and here, making him basically get plus, what would be plus 10 seconds, so 16 seconds immunity. Would have been crazy. I can understand that they didn't do it. So for this season, I think I'm mostly looking on to Hewin and want to see what she can do. Maybe a little bit also to Lily May, because Lily May also has some insane stuff. She's already an insane hero, and having like super powered charms right now could prove fairly interesting. We have the true damage stuff there. I wonder what do they recommend even for her. They recommend attack crit. 40% crit is absolutely massive actually. But yeah, it will still take a bit, sadly, because for this to be able to craft it, at least we have to get to floor 26. And we saw the steep requirements to actually proceed in Durst Trial. We can see it right here. Next stage unlocked, day 15 of the season is now coming up, but it only lets us imagine that the next stages will also have similar requirements, making us wait for quite a bit until we are actually able to get the charms that we want, the mythic charms towards the end of the season. But I kind of don't hate it because yeah, it gives you something to look forward to, and I definitely look forward to those charms. And maybe, if you want, you can write some combinations that you found down in the comments, because I haven't gone through all heroes yet, and I think there will be some very cool charms. For me, Hewen is the #1 hero I'm looking forward to, but certainly Carolina will do insane damage, so that is something to see. And maybe there will be some other cool stuff as well, maybe Tunlinger even. I mean, I was complaining about his order not lasting long enough, where we maybe even have to make a video about, but maybe with enough skill power or ultimate power could be interesting. Yeah, we have to look forward to that. Yeah, beyond that, in terms of charms, yeah, those 5 heroes you can upgrade, and I think that will be good. You can go for the AFK clearers. It is not that limited, like the resources in general that you get from this are not that limited. I already had like 800, and I think I will earn way more fairly easily pretty soon. We can see it's already down up to 498 again, so shouldn't be too much of a problem, and we are gonna unlock higher level charms fairly soon. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helped you. Tell me your best Mythic Plus charms down in the comments. Which hero are you looking forward to using with the Mythic Plus charms? And with that, we'll later also get the guide on heroic drills. We still have the event going on. Kind of wanted to point to that. And this is unlocked in 6 hours, and so will be my guide on it. I can already say, well, this one, not too difficult. On the one that is also unlocked in 2 days and 6 hours, which will be in the same video. So we'll also get the guide for the stages that are unlocked in 2 days, 6 hours. The last stage is fairly, well, difficult. It is a bit tricky. So maybe watch the video and then you know about it. So with that, I wish you a great day, and we'll see us in the next one.